Alright guys, what's going on? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope, for those of you guys that have a 3-day weekend, I hope it continues to go well. But just for everybody in general, enjoy the hell out of your weekend. But anyway, that's not exactly what we're here to talk about. I'm here to basically give my thoughts about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, but in a slight different way. Now, by this time, most of us, if not all of us, have already seen the multiplayer footage that was pretty much leaked, along with screenshots and everything else that goes with it. But I wanted to explain this in a slightly different way that may have not been explained in other videos. I've seen a handful of videos of people talking about it. Now, granted, I haven't seen everybody, but I thought I'd give my 2 cents on it, and I think it makes perfect sense in terms of what I've seen. And I haven't really been seeing too many people explain it in this sort of way, so I thought I'd give my 2 cents on it. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now, let me move my headset out of the way over here. Now, when I first saw the screenshots, because all this stuff was on Twitter, when I first saw the screenshots, and I saw that the Miami footage or whatnot, and the screenshots at first, and I was like, wow, I'm getting some real Plaza vibes from the map Plaza in Black Ops 2, and I was really, in all honesty, I was at work when I saw it, and I started to get extremely excited. I'm like, holy shit, they're actually doing it. They're actually making something in terms of a Black Ops 2, maybe mixed in with a little bit of Black Ops 4, kind of like a hybrid. In the year 2020, this is awesome, and obviously we've seen the 10-minute multiplayer, the 10-second multiplayer footage that came along with the official trailer, which you will see in the background of this video. Everybody's pretty much seen that as well. And then I found the 6 to 7 minute gameplay footage, and within just a few seconds it just clicked with me. I was like, okay, just by seeing that footage alone told me that this is basically going to be a Treyarch / Infinity Ward hybrid type of Call of Duty. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, just by the movement alone, like I was looking at the movement. Now, granted, it wasn't full HD gameplay, so the graphics obviously look worse than what they're going to be in the final product, and I'll get to that in a minute. In terms of the pre-alpha footage, I'll get that in a minute. But when I saw the movement and everything like that, the first thing that went to my mind is it's going to be a hybrid. At least that's what it certainly looks like. And the best way I can explain it to everybody, whether you've seen the footage or not, the best way pre-official multiplayer reveal that we're going to have on Wednesday, the best way that I could describe this game as of now is, what if all of a sudden, in the middle of Modern Warfare's release, 6 months in, Infinity Ward all of a sudden goes up to Joe Csod or Joe Sekad, and however you pronounce his name, and said, you know what, we need an overhaul of this game, and you're basically going to step down from your position, and you're just going to help out with the overhaul. And guess who they bring in? They bring in Vaughn and Treyarch and a handful of their guys, and basically say, okay, the community's been wanting this, they've been wanting this, and he hasn't been giving it to them, so he's stepping down. You guys are taking over. Have at it. Goodbye. I'll see you later. So basically, when you look at it, now these things have already been pretty much talked about, so I'm already going to talk about it, because pre-leak, which I think happened yesterday or the day before, things have already been rumored, so let's just keep it at that, right? Now, for those of you guys that have seen the footage, you guys can put 2 and 2 together. Now, what was wrong with what did the community request with Modern Warfare? A regular working minimap. We wanted dead silence as a perk. Later on, we started complaining about how there's all these extra attachments that basically have little to no use in the game compared to just a handful of attachments, so everything else is pretty much useless, and it's just there for whatever reason. You see what I'm getting at? So when you put everything together, everything that a lot of things that the community's been complaining about, like the doors, for instance, and stuff like that, when I saw the footage, I was like, okay, this is basically like Modern Warfare with better color palettes, because this is what Treyarch is known for. Better maps, and a different methodology, which also, balances everything out in terms of the rushing playstyle and not just a campy playstyle. Dead Silence, obviously, that being a perk as well. The mini-map working correctly. See where I'm going with this? So there's like, it's basically just by looking at the footage within seconds, it was very apparent that this is going to be, and with the maps and everything like that, this is basically going to be Modern Warfare. Black Ops Cold War is going to be Modern Warfare, but more Russia friendly. Or should I say Russia friendly? Or should I say an overhaul of Modern Warfare, but it's going to be called Black Ops Cold War. It's going to have its own campaign or whatnot, but in terms of just the multiplayer, because that's all I'm covering. I'm not talking about the single player, except for the fact that I'm looking forward to trying out the single player in that game, because I just, Black Ops 1, was my favorite single player Call of Duty that I played back in the day. So when you think about it, that's all it really is. Now, in terms of the graphics, now obviously the footage that was leaked that most of us saw was not in full HD, at least not the one that I saw. So it's obviously going to look crappy. But even when the full release of the game releases, remember, you can't expect, first of all, the best it's going to look, especially on this generation of consoles that we have currently right now, the best it's going to look is like Modern Warfare, but with better color palettes, different maps, and a few of the things mixed in. And there's evidence also, further evidence to suggest that it is a hybrid game, because, for instance, the class is like a mix of the PIC-10 system as well as what Modern Warfare had. So when you put that together, that's what it's been rumored, pre-leak, and if you've seen the leak, then you will know whether or not it's true. So when you put everything together, it's like it really is a hybrid of a game. There are things about the Modern Warfare engine that I definitely liked. I like the look, I like the feel, and again, people were complaining maybe the time to kill was a little too fast, so guess what? Health is back at 150, but with a slightly faster time to kill than Black Ops 4, so it's going to feel like 125. So it's going to be literally like everything we have been asking for the last year or so, almost a year now, from Modern Warfare. Those wishes are going to be granted in Black Ops Cold War. So with that being said, is it going to play like Modern Warfare? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. It's obviously a lot more Russia friendly because of the things that Treyarch is going to be implementing and addressing the issues that Modern Warfare just never addressed because they wanted to, whatever. So in that aspect, it's going to run on the Modern Warfare engine, if not slightly altered, because Treyarch had their hands on it over the last year or so, or how long it's been, which is not too much of a long time to make any drastic changes, especially since you have to add in everything else as well. So when you put everything together, it really is just a hybrid game. So, and don't expect the graphics to look better than what Modern Warfare is looking right now, except maybe on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. We'll see. Because if history tends to repeat itself, guys, remember Call of Duty Ghosts back in the day? The Xbox One version didn't look it would look a little bit cleaner, but didn't look a whole hell of a lot better than the Xbox 360 version. And going back to more recent times with Gunfight, the gunfight that we had, that we got our hands on before the release of Modern Warfare, was an alpha. That was very open. I mean, they said it was an alpha. So, and the alpha looked pretty damn good. So, if the game doesn't look that much different or that much better than what the current leak was, which was said to be an alpha build, well, there you go. So, and obviously when we get the beta, that's pretty much how the game is going to look. There's going to be obviously some tweaking done after beta. And that's that. So it's going to feel like Modern Warfare because of the engine, maybe slightly different because Treyarch's been messing with it. But it's also going to play like a Treyarch game because it's going to be Russia friendly. The maps are going to be 3-lane maps from everything that's been rumored and from what we saw, for those of you guys that have seen the footage. So ultimately, it's a hybrid game. It's not a Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, Raven Software hybrid. If there's anything that's going to be more Treyarch-esque and it's going to be less of a hybrid, it's probably going to be zombies. So the zombie community has a lot to look forward to. And yeah, guys, those are my thoughts about the game without going into crazy detail and spilling everything, but everybody pretty much knows everything that there is to know at this point. so I feel like that wasn't really a necessity for me to go in depth. This video could have been a hell of a lot longer. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Black Ops Cold War, and overall, it's a good thing. You know, it's a lot of rushers, that a lot of people that were complaining about Modern Warfare. Overall, everything that we discussed and then some are going to get their wish this year with this new title. But again, don't expect it to feel too different. But yet again, none of us have really gotten our hands on the game except for some of those people that have supposedly been given download codes to play the alpha. So, which they can't talk about until Wednesday, probably. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys think, what your overall thoughts are on it, if you've seen it. But even if you haven't seen it, you pretty much know the rumors and leaks, I'm sure. So what do you think about overall on everything? Do you have high hopes? Do you not have high hopes? Are you kind of holding yourself back so that way you won't be sorely disappointed? Let me know down in the comments section. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on stream over the weekend. And if I don't, I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend out there. I'll catch you guys on the next one.